But if you live in Toronto, you know that this place is super expensive, like point blank period.
Oh, in a rise and boast. Yeah, we give thanks like we need it the most. We have to give thanks like we really supposed to. Thankful.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Sarika. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, leave a comment, share with your friends, all the good things. Okay, so I'm making this video actually in response to a tweet that I made like several months ago, asking like if anyone wants to see kind of what I spend in a month in Toronto, just because I was complaining about the rising like inflation and the rising cost of prices and cost of living here. And quite a few people said yeah, so I've just been kind of waiting for kind of my schedule and the discipline, and essentially a month where I didn't have like a long vacation, because March I think I had spring break and then April was my Easter break, but I was also like moving and looking for new places, so it wasn't a good time. So May was the month, and so today I'm going to be sharing with you how much I spent for this month living in Toronto. Before I start with the cost breakdown, I wanted to give you some disclaimers. So the first disclaimer is I don't live in like the heart of downtown Toronto. If I did, everything would be more expensive. Not everything, but like rent, etc. Those things would be more expensive. The next thing is that I live with my partner, so some of the expenses are divided between the two of us. So what I'm going to be sharing today is what I spend, not what the household spends, just to kind of give you an idea of what like I personally spend per month. What else is there? Oh, some of these categories, because I've broken it down into categories, are variable. So my expenses will change month to month, and I'll tell you which of those categories are variable and which are more fixed. And this is in Canadian dollars. So that's the currency we're using. So let's break it down. Okay, so I had to make like a spreadsheet on my computer. I had to go through my bank account to kind of look at my spending, track it, calculate it, categorize it, everything. So I'm gonna be looking down at my computer to kind of give you some of the numbers that I was able to kind of glean and put together. So we're gonna start with my fixed expenditures for the month. My dog is in my lap, so if I look down as well, it's because I'm making sure he's okay. All right, so let's start with my fixed expenses. So the first thing is rent. So I pay $12.50 per month for rent. Again, remember this is something that is divided between myself and my partner. The next thing is my like car payment. Again, something that's also divided, and I pay $450 per month. The next thing is in car insurance. Again, something that's divided between myself and my partner, and I pay $90 for my car insurance. Then I pay about $75 for gas a month. And I know that figure I feel like seems really low, but that's because we don't really drive that often. I actually still take the subway to work and home just because it's easier. Don't have to pay for parking, etc. And so with that being said, I spend $80 per month for my like subway card, like to top it up and get to work and get home. I spend about $100 a month on Uber till if I'm going out with friends or if I have to get to an appointment. Yeah. Okay, and then for the month of May, I spent $215 on groceries, $70 on dog food, so for my dog. And again, these are still under the fixed expenses category. I have an RSP, so I put $150 per month into my RSP. I also pay for life insurance, so I put $120 into my life insurance per month. And then my kind of final fixed cost is therapy. I try and do therapy twice a month. Health insurance covers most of it, but for what I pay, it's $84 a month. Okay. So I actually calculated my fixed expenses for the month, and it is about 2,684 Canadian dollars for the month. So those are my fixed expenses. Now I'm gonna kind of go into some of the more variable expenses. So these change from month to month. Either they're lower some months, higher some months, or don't exist, and I will get into that. So the first variable category is travel. And when I say travel, I mean like for flights, like vacations. So I'm taking a vacation in the summer. I bought my plane tickets this month. This is a variable cost that doesn't exist every month because I don't take a vacation abroad every single month. For my round trip ticket, it was 769 Canadian dollars. So that's what I spent this month on my plane tickets. I also had to pay for accommodation. So it's a group of people going, and my like portion was 192 Canadian dollars. When I calculate the total of my round trip ticket and then my accommodation, it is $961. I'm just rounding up and down just to make it easier. Okay, so the next variable cost is entertainment. Entertainment would be like if I'm going out with my friends, so that could be like to the movies, to restaurants. Also, like I bought tickets to like events for the summer. That's also in entertainment. I recently went out for a friend's birthday and we did like perfume making. So obviously entertainment would be variable. I spent for the month of May $531 on entertainment costs. Okay, the next variable cost, and this is another cost that doesn't exist every month, is moving. So for May, we actually moved and I did an empty apartment tour, so go check it out. But that's something that I don't do every month, obviously. I don't move from place to place every month. In terms of buying new furniture, and I've only kind of put a dent in the furniture buying, I kind of wanted to spread out those payments between like the months. I'm probably gonna be spending more on furniture in the summer, but I only bought a few things this month. But between buying a few stuff in terms of new furniture and then like we paid our movers because we're not moving it ourselves. So we paid someone to a company to move our stuff. It came up to $309. And then the next thing is miscellaneous. So this is just things that like, and again, this is another variable cost. Usually could be higher, but I feel like this is pretty high. I don't know. Yeah, so I spent $192 on miscellaneous things, and that's just like random stuff that like pop up. So it could be like, for example, I went on a walk with my dog and I took him somewhere, got him like a treat or something. It's like miscellaneous. Or like I went to a convenience store and bought a chocolate bar. Like that's miscellaneous, just things that are just like spur of the moment, quick. You don't really like necessarily budget it. Yeah, so that's like $192. And then subscriptions. So these are like Disney Plus, Spotify, Google Storage. I think those are the main subscriptions that I pay for. That's about $57 a month. And then beauty costs. And my subscriptions, I would say, are like fixed. Because I mean, it's the same subscription every month and it's the same cost. The last category I have is beauty and like beauty maintenance and things like that. This is also a variable cost because I don't, for example, buy like a new wig or something every month, or I don't wax my eyebrows every month. So this will change from month to month. And I will say, even though this cost may, I don't know, depending on who you are, it may or may not sound shocking. I would say this is on the lower end of what I spend in terms of my beauty maintenance. So for May, I spent $352 on beauty. Okay, so I actually calculated all of the total costs of everything, and I'm not gonna lie, like this kind of blew me away, and it was really enlightening to kind of see kind of trends and patterns. And for the month of May, I spent 5,087 Canadian dollars. So again, like I think it just depends on who's listening. Like some people might be like, whoa, that's a lot. Some people might be like, that's not that much. I don't know what your perspective is. But I will say that like I, as a young person, have been feeling the rising cost of things, rising cost of living, like everything feels more expensive. And just in general, I like to treat myself. I thankfully have the privilege of being able to pay for certain things and afford certain things, and I like that. But it's definitely something that is a concerning issue, and I'm sure that we're all kind of experiencing it. So that's kind of the overview of how much I spent in May. Hope that this video was enlightening, and if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, like for real. But if you live in Toronto, you know that this place is super expensive, like point blank period. It costs a lot of money to live in Toronto. And I saw this article that was like, also I don't know how credible this is, but I saw an article that said like people are, you know, forming convenient relationships to be able to afford living in Toronto. And I could see why. Like, if you live by yourself, like this is so expensive. Like you have to be making above a certain amount of money to enjoy a certain lifestyle. And that's just so ridiculous to me. And like, yeah, anyway, I could go on and on about this, but I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that it was somewhat enlightening in terms of what the cost of living is like in Toronto. Yeah, and I will see you in the next one.